Let's bring in the head coach now for the Beech Grove Hornets, Mark Weller. And Mark, just commenting to you before we came on the air that this whole football season is like warp speed. I can remember back in maybe April when we were doing spring drills and we got to summer. It's 24/7 cycle, isn't it?
It really is. It really is. And it has just flown by. I can't, it just seems like we're just kicking off the season, getting out of summer, and here we are.
We at SRN are always talking about anticipating the beginning of the season, but once we get in that week-to-week cycle, it's like warp speed.
It is, and we talk to our seniors about it every year. Enjoy every moment of it because it's going to go quickly.
Give us a little roundup as far as where we are in the season, and I think the most important thing, Mark, is the fact that I know you've got a game plan for Greenwood, ranked number 11 in the state. They're a very powerful offense, and but will it come down to perhaps clock management?
Anytime you play a team like Greenwood, absolutely. We need to be very efficient with our drives and be very efficient with the clock, keeping the ball out of their hands as much as possible. But, our big deal is looking in the mirror. Which team will show up for us, and that's what we have to focus on more than anything else. And if we come focused, ready to play, I think good things can happen for us.
Greenwood has a ton of respect for Beech Grove after visiting with them earlier this week, and Mike Campbell is a great guy. I've known him for a long time, so it's kind of a mutual admiration society here.
Well, I tell you, I think the world of Mike. We've had the opportunity to play him in the sectionals a couple of times, and his kids are always so well coached, so sound. With Mike, you know what you're going to get. You're going to get the power. They're going to try and beat you up and come after you, and they're very good at it. And we need to be up for the challenge, and hopefully we've done a good job of preparing our kids.
A long time ago, going back to I think 2005 and 6, Beech Grove and Greenwood used to play on a regular season basis, but you really haven't faced them since a couple of playoffs ago in the sectional, correct?
Right, yeah. We've just run into them in the playoffs since we left the Mid-State Conference going into our present Crossroads Conference. We just, even though we're kind of neighbors, we don't have that much opportunity to run into each other, except for, unfortunately for us, it's been in the playoffs.
When you look at the comparison of the two teams, maybe just in terms of numbers, roster numbers, obviously having a smaller squad in terms of numbers, is that sometimes an advantage to knowing exactly who your team is?
Well, every team's different. We've struggled a little bit for an identity this year. We have a relatively young team, inexperienced team, so we've had a lot of growing pains this year. We've got a great senior class. We've got some talent. So I don't know if numbers have as much to do with that as just the different personalities of kids.
I know that IHSAA has been a workhorse for you guys, not only offensively and defensively, and he is a senior and he's got a younger brother on this team, but he must be a real horse out there.
Oh my gosh, he is a load, and he's just a tough kid. He's fun to watch on both sides of the ball, but the neat thing, once he gets on a roll, you can just kind of watch the other team's defense as the game goes, not wanting to tackle him as much because he brings it every time.
And it's not just he's doing it during his senior year. He was doing this as a sophomore, wasn't he?
He was. We saw early on, I think it was his first practice as a freshman, he's going to be a special kid for us. And he even got to play a little bit as a freshman for us, and has just improved every year and has been a joy to coach.
Not to reveal any portion of your strategy and game plan tonight, but just a couple of things that we'll be looking for from you as well as from them.
Well, like I said, what you're going to get from Mike. They're a very sound, very well disciplined program. They've become more multidimensional, than other teams we've seen. He does a nice job. They're very efficient. When it comes down to it, they want to run the ball. They want to run the power. They're going to play a hard-nosed, flowing version of defense, in his 4-3. One thing that's been kind of tough for us, but may work to our advantage, we lost our quarterback for a couple of weeks.
Yes.
And in that situation, we had to adjust to a wildcat offense, putting the ball in Isaiah's hand. So we developed a kind of a little niche there also, so we can kind of go from a spread to a wildcat spread type of look, which I think, you know, can give people, as long as we're executing, some problems.
Kind of get creative, right, Coach?
We've become very creative, yes.
Thanks again for having us a partner with Beech Grove High School this year. We've really enjoyed our association with you, and wish you nothing but the best.
I appreciate it. It's been a great year.